Slope and Y-intercept introduction. The first question that I have is, where have you heard the word slope? A lot of you might say, well, I've heard it in another math class. The word slope can also be used when you're talking about hitting the slopes or skiing or hiking on mountains. You could also be talking about ramps, or maybe you've heard it in relation to hills. If you've heard the word slope before and you've heard it in context, slope usually means either increasing gradually up or decreasing gradually down. Slope can be descending or it can be ascending. When a slope is descending, it is going to be negative, or it would be going down as you look at it from left to right. So you're going to be looking at these like you read a book. So you're going to start at the left and go to the right. Descending means it would be going down as you look from left to right. It's also going to mean that the slope is negative. Ascending, on the other hand, is going to be positive, and it's going to be going up as you look from left to right. So descending is negative and going down. Ascending is positive and going up. You're going to look at the graphs of lines like you would be reading a book. So you're going to start at the left side and you're going to move your way to the right side. Finding slope. Slope is going to be a fraction or a ratio. It is going to be a fraction or a ratio of how you're going to move as the rise over how you're going to move in the run. Rise, we're going to count slope from one ordered pair to the next on a graph of a line. The rise is going to be how far up or down, or how many units up or down you're going to move to get from one ordered pair to the next. And the run is going to be how far or how many units to the left and to the right you go to get from one ordered pair to the next. The y-intercept is going to be where a line crosses the y-axis. Remember, in the coordinate plane you have a y-axis and you have an x-axis. The y-axis is vertical or going up and down. The x-axis is horizontal or going right to left. A little preview, the reason why we're going to talk about these today is that tomorrow we're going to be putting these together, the slope and the y-intercept, to write an equation of a line in what we call slope-intercept form. These examples are going to ask me to find the slope and the y-intercept. I also want you to tell me if these would be ascending or descending lines. In this case, as you look at the graph from left to right, you would be going up, so the slope would be ascending. If you choose 2 points on the line, and you can choose any 2 points that you would like, we're going to count. Remember, slope is rise over run. So I'm going to choose 2 points, and I'm going to count rise. In this case, we need to go up 1. And run, in this case, we need to go to the left 1. So my slope would be 1 over 1. When you can write your slope as a whole number, you do want to go ahead and write your slope as a whole number. So 1 over 1 is the same thing as just 1. The y-intercept, where my line crosses the y-axis, is at this point, and that point is at -1 on the y-axis. The next example is again going to ask me to find the slope and y-intercept. First, I need to tell if it is ascending or descending. As you look at this line going from left to right, again it is ascending because you are going up. Choose 2 points on your graph and count the slope. Remember, slope is rise over run, so I'm going to count how far up or down I have to move, and then how far to the left and to the right I need to move to get from one ordered pair or 1 point to the next. I need to move up 2 units and to the right 1 unit. When I move up, that would be positive, and when I move to the right, that's going to be positive. So in this case, my slope is going to be a positive 2 over positive 1. Remember, if I can write this as a whole number, I do want to, and 2 divided by 1 is just 2. The y-intercept of this line is going to be at this point, which is at y equals 2. So in this case, my slope and my y-intercept are both 2. This next example, we have a line, and as we look at it from left to right, notice that you would be going down. When we look at it from left to right and we are going down, that means that my line is descending, or my slope is descending. When I count my slope, in this case, I'm going to need to move down 1. When I have to move down, that is considered a negative direction, so my rise would be a negative 1. And then my run, I need to move to the right 5 units. When I'm moving to the right, that's positive. So my slope for this line would be a negative 1 over a positive 5. My y-intercept is at this point, which is y equals negative 3. If you look at this line, notice that it is going straight across. When the line is going straight across, it is called a horizontal line. A horizontal line, we cannot go up or down and still be on the line. So my rise would be 0, and my run could be any number. Well, 0 divided by any number is 0, so my slope is 0, and that is going to be true for all horizontal lines. All horizontal lines have a slope of 0. The y-intercept, where this line crosses the y-axis, is at 3. This next example is what we call a vertical line. Notice the vertical line is going straight up and down. A vertical line is going to have a rise. You can move up and down any number of spaces and you'll still be on this line. But its run, or its movement to the left and to the right, is going to be 0. If you remember, we cannot divide by 0. So when we have a vertical line which has a run of 0, our slope is going to be called undefined. If you notice, when we look for the y-intercept, this line does not ever cross the y-axis. They are actually parallel, which means they are never going to cross. So the y-intercept of a vertical line, there is none. So there is no y-intercept for a vertical line, and the slope is undefined for a vertical line. Both of these are true for all vertical lines. The next example says find the slope and y-intercept. First, tell me if it's ascending or descending. If you notice, going from left to right on this graph, I would be going down on my orange line, so that slope is considered descending or negative. As I count my slope, rise over run, I need to go down 4 units, and I need to go to the right 3 units. So my slope is going to be negative 4 over 3. Notice this is an improper fraction. However, because a slope is a ratio of rise over run, I do not want to change the slope to a mixed number. So for slopes, I'm going to leave the fraction as an improper fraction. If you can simplify, then you do want to go ahead and simplify, but we're not going to change it to a mixed number. When you look for the y-intercept of this line, it's going to be at the point on the y-axis 2. So your slope is negative 4 over 3, and your y-intercept is at 2.